Hi, hello, and welcome to our channel, Scratch Coding for Kids. Today we are going to learn about variables. This is Vida from Toronto. I'm going to help you to learn the Scratch 3.0 step by step. Okay, so we already, I think I published 12 tutorials already. So you can go through all those 12 tutorials to get basic idea. If you are too new to the Scratch, you should go through those 12 tutorials. And this is my 13th tutorial. So here we are going to learn about variables. Okay, before we go to the Scratch screen and go to the variables, we had to know a little bit idea behind these variables in the computer science. So let me take a pen. So variable means a storage location. Okay, so in your home, like in your day-to-day life, when you go to school, you will have a pencil case, right? And in the pencil case, you will store your pencil, right? There are two ways. You have a one pencil case to store only your one of your pencil only, or you can have a one pencil case to store your pencil, eraser, ruler, sharpener, everything. Okay, so for these two, a different concept in Scratch we call variable and the list. Variable will store only one value and list will store more than one value, one to many. Okay, so we will first stay. So first thing you have to know what is variable. Okay, so this one is what is variable. So we already know it's a storage location. Okay, so it's a memory location. In the computer there's a memory location where you can store the values. So values means you can store a name, you can store a number like 45, or a name like Anne, or anything, an address. You can store an address. You can store some things like table, chair, something like that. So it's something similar to our day-to-day life idea. Like in your home you will have a bookshelf to store all the books, right? And you will have a closet to store all your clothes, something like that. Here also we have a container to store it. So we will do two things. One thing, we have to label the container, right? Like at home you will have a closet. So closet is the label of the container, and inside you are storing the clothes. Like that we will have a label. So this label, you have to give a meaningful name. Okay, so you can't give anything you want. You have to give a meaning. What you store, it should be related. So if you are storing a number, you have to give the label number. If you are storing names, you have to give a label name. Then only others and you can understand, right? So you have to have a label. So example, name, number, okay, something like that. Then you will have a value. So that container will have some value. So this is the label is the name of the container, and we will have a value. So like in a closet you are going to store the clothes, right? Clothes is a value, right? So here for the name means we will give something like Vida. If is it a number uh, container, then we will have something like 45 or 12 or whatever you like, right? So that's how we have a label and the value. So this is can be two different way we approach. One is variable, other one is list according to the Scratch. Okay, in the computer science there are different ways, but in the Scratch we have two things. One is variable, other one is list. Okay, I will I will say one is variable. So here other one is the list. So from the name you can understand list means it's going to have something extra, like list of things, right? So when you're writing some list, you say list of things, right? So when you need more than one value, you want to store more than one value, you have to use the list. If you're storing only one value, you can use the variable. Okay, so hope you guys have some background idea what is this variable and how we are going to handle it. Okay, now we will go back to Scratch and see one by one what we can do. Okay, before that, we have to go to our agenda and see. Okay, of course, you had to go through my tutorials, other tutorials. Otherwise, it's difficult for you to understand this one. These are a little bit advanced concepts. So even for the elementary school kids, I'm not sure if this is really needed, but it's better to, if you can understand, try to understand. So we have few topics to learn today. So one of that is what are the variables in computer science that we already learn, and there are 21 topics we have to check it today, and then you will have the homework as usual. Okay, now we will go one by one with a scratch screen. So let me go to the scratch screen. So this is one of the blocks category in the scratch is variable. So if I click on this orange color button, so orange color option, you will get this variable. So in the variable, see, it shows two. One is make a variable, other one make a list. So I already told you, right? Variable means one value, list means multiple value you can store. It's basically a storage. So you are storing values, right? So first we will go with the variable. So here I don't have any variable. I'm going to create a new variable. So click on make variable, and you can give any name, but it should be meaningful. If you are going to store numbers, so you have to give a number. Or like if you are going to show the score, say score, age, say age. So something should be meaningful. Okay. So I will say score, because you will mostly use this variable when you are writing the coding for the games. Okay. So score. Here you can do two things. One is for all scripts, or it's like only for it's like a local and global variables, right? So you can give for all the scripts available in your project. So when you are creating a project, you will add many scripts, sprites, right? So this variable can be applicable for all the sprites, or you want to apply only for the particular sprite which you selected now. Okay, so I will give all sprites. Okay, then cloud variable, no, that you don't need it, and click OK. So now I got these options. So now once I created a variable with a name, I am getting all these options. So this is the name of the variable score, and this checkbox is checked, so it's showing in the stage. If you don't want to show this score in the stage, you can simply click here again and it will go away, okay, from the stage. Right. Now we will see what we can do with this score. So first thing, you can initiate. So I will show it, then only you will understand. Okay, I'll click here. So it's showing. I can initiate a value for this score, right? Because it can be dynamic or static. So, okay, initially I'm giving a value 5. Okay, so it will show. Right now, I can change this value while I am running the script. When I am running the program, this value can be uh, uh, can change time to time. Okay, so that is dynamic, that we will learn later. Like the score, when you are doing the score, of course you will change. So how we can change is, you have to say every time change by 1. So now if I click, it will become 6. See, it became 6 because I am saying change by 1. So already I have 5. So it's change by 1. 5 plus 1, 6. Now next time if I click, it will become 7. Sorry. Oh, its initial value is okay. Okay. So initial value is still this one. So I had to make it change separately, because otherwise every time it will initiate to 5 and then add the 1. Okay. So I had to do it separately, the change by 1. Okay. So that is, you can change the value by 1. And this is, you have only one score, but if you have many variables, it will list all the variables. These two things we will check later. Okay, now we will see show and hide, that you already know. Like you can use this checkbox, or you can simply use this hide button block and click here, it will hide. It doesn't show here. Then if you use the show block and click here, it will show. Okay, also in this show and hide, you have more option. Like if you want to rename this variable, you already gave the name score, but now you think, no, I don't want the name score. I want to change the name to something else. So you can change it by renaming and say number. Okay. So you change the name to, now the name is changed. See, everywhere the name is changed to number. Or you want to delete this variable. You don't want this variable anymore. You accidentally you created, or you planned something else and created, but now you don't want it. Then you have the other option. Click this arrow, delete the number variable. So I click here, it will delete the whole variable. Now you came to the initial stage. And again, you can create another variable if you want. You can create another variable. I'll say like test. and this time I'll apply only for the particular sprite which I selected. Okay, so like this. Other one I told you, okay, I will explain you how to use this in the programming. Right now I am explaining only what you can do with how to create the variable and what you can do with this variable. Okay, I will give one example. If you already went through the 12th tutorial, you know that there's a game I created. In the game I use this variable score. So I will again go through I'll walk you guys with that game and show you how we apply this variable in different scenarios. Okay, next one is a list. So to make a list, you have to click here. So what is the difference between variable and list? Okay, here I want only one value at a time. At a time, I am displaying only one value or storing only one value. But if you want to store more than one value, for an example, you are going to create a variable called class or students. So if you create a variable called students, so in your class, there will be 30 students or 20 students, at least 20 students, right? So how you can store all 20 students' name in one place? Not possible, right? Because you can store only one. In those scenarios, we need this list. So make a list. I will give a name students of the class. Okay, and click OK. Now see, it's giving a big box to type everything. So how you can type the names here? So there are enough option for you to play around with this list. So first thing, add name or whatever you want to this particular variable. So I'll take this block. Now I'm going to add the first name, Vida. And I click here. See, the name is added to the first position. The number is important, okay? So it is according to that only it will identify the values. Okay, so first value is added, Vida. Now I'm going to add another value. Sorry, it's two times it's added. We can delete it, no problem. Okay, later on I'll delete it. Now I'll give another name, and then I will give another name, Mary. Okay, I'll give another name, Sam. Then I will give another name. What we can give? I'm running out of names. And maybe I want to give some common names. I don't want to bind to a one culture, right? I just want to give a common names. I couldn't remember any names. Okay, let's say and Mary Trump. And I will give another name, Justin. Something like that. Okay, so you can give any number of names here. Okay, so now it's showing the length as 7. So you added 7 names. So how many names you added? It will show the length here. Okay, even you can retrieve the length. I'll tell you one by one. Okay, right. Now what I'm going to do is I don't want to import or export. Okay, right. Now next one, I want to delete a particular one. Here by mistake I added this value 2 times, right? So now I want to delete it. So which value you want to delete? You have to say, I said these numbers are important, right? The first one or second one? I want to delete the second one. So I'll say the second one I want to delete it. And click delete. It's deleted. Okay, see now only one beta. And the third and became second, 2. The value, the number 2. Okay. Now, if you want to delete everything, you can simply click it, everything will be deleted. I will show you this later because I don't want to delete everything because I will do, okay, let's delete it. Click here, see everything got deleted. Okay, so now I have to add again. So I will add some few names. Okay, I added 4 names. So it's showing the length as 4. Okay, now you know how to delete a particular name and how to delete, or not only name, you can give a number too. Okay, sorry, okay, make sure like you can give 45 and so You can give a number as well, but it doesn't make sense here because I said it's the students of the class, right? So there is no one, usually people doesn't have a name like 45, right? So it doesn't make sense. So I will delete that one. So the number 5, I want to delete it. Click and delete it. Okay, right. So you can add like that. Now you know how to delete a particular one and how to delete everything. Now I am going to do insert at a particular number, because add if you use this one and add now, it will add as the fifth one, right? But you want to add something as the first one. You don't want to add as a fifth one. So you can say, I want to add a name, Trump, in the first position. And click here, it will insert to the first position, not to the fifth. Okay. So, and it uh, pushing the others to down. Okay. Right. So that's how you can insert something in the middle. And you want to replace an item. Okay. So I want to replace this third item to a different name. So I'll give here 3. Third item, I want to replace it. I want to replace it with Diana. Okay. So if you click it, the third one is now Mary is going to replace with Diana. Okay. Right. So that's how you can replace something. Okay. Now, next one. Item 1 of, okay, you now these things we did the editing this list, right? Adding, deleting, replacing, and renaming, whatever. But now I want to retrieve something. One thing, you are adding the values to a storage. Like when you have a pencil case, you are putting all the pencils there, but then you have to take it out to use it, right? So how we will retrieve it? So to retrieve, you can take like this. You have to say item, which one, like for an example, fourth item I want my name. So I will say fourth item and click here. Sorry, click here. It will show you Vida. But I'll show you how to use this in the program, right? Now you have to know only like you can retrieve the item, okay? That's all. With the number, you can retrieve the item. That's all you have to know. Then we will show like how we can apply this in the programming, okay? Mm. And also you can take the item number, not only the name of the item, but you can take, like for an example, if I say Diana, it will give the number, which number it is. Okay, and click here. See, it's the third number. See, Diana is 3, right? So it will show that one. So you can retrieve things. Now length of the, I already told you here it's showing the length, right? Also you want to get the length because for some reason like you want to compare if the length of the list is more than 10, do something. So you're going to write a program like that. The length of the 5 is, don't add it or something like that. Or if length is more than 10, add this name, something like that. So if you want to do that program, so we need the length of that one. So if you click here, it will show, sorry, click, it will show 5, okay? The length is 5. Right. Other one is, okay. Then you can also check this list contain a name. You don't know, you are not sure because this is a simple small list. But if you have a list like 100, 200 names, you are not sure you added a particular name. So I forget I added Justin or not. So you can check it like contain Justin. So it will say true or false. It's a Boolean value. It will say either true, yes, it's there. So it says true. Just in case if I give another name which is not there, like say A, B, C, D, and if I click, it says false. No, that name is not in the list. Okay. So that is one thing. Other one, show and hide. It's pretty simple. If you click here, it's already showing. So it's not a, I don't need to give show. So I'll say hide. See, it's hide at the list. I will say show. It will show the list. I'll make it down. Okay. No, I don't want to import or export. Now, I will say in the down arrow, you have two more, exactly like what we check for the variables. So there's a rename list. So if you want to rename this list, so you don't want to say student of the class. You want to just say students class. That's all you want to know. So you change your mind and you are changing the name. So just say students class, right? Then you want to delete this one, the whole thing you want to delete. Delete the whole list. not the values of the list. Earlier what we checked was values of the list, right? We deleted, here deleted the values, right? Delete all of the class means it will delete only the value, not the list. It doesn't delete the list. But if you want to delete the whole list, you have to click on this one and it will, yeah. So it deleted everything. Now if you click here, we have only variable, we don't have the list. So you have to create again from the beginning, you have to create the list. Okay. So this is all about these variables, right? Variable or the list, what are the options available with those things in the Scratch. We checked it, but still we didn't see how we can practically apply these variables in our Scratch programming. So today I will explain you how we can use this variable, not the list, how we can use this variable in our Scratch programming. But this one I already explained, but I will explain one more time. Now you will understand more because when I was explaining the 12th tutorial, you didn't learn the variables, right? Okay, now I will go to my stuff. I'll open the last modified. Where is that game? Yeah, touch the ball game. Okay, I'll go here. I'll open the project and see inside. Now you see, I'm giving here the value score and the level 1, right? Both of these are variables. If you go to variable here, you will see I created two variables. No, there are more variables, but I am using two variables, level and score. And I am using a dynamic value. Like I am changing, like see, change the score by 1 when I am giving a condition if touching the ball. If the badminton is touching the ball, every time the badminton touch the ball, that is a condition, the score value will change by 1. So it will increase. Now initially it's 0 because I initiating here. Set the score to 0 first time. Whenever you click on start, it will be 0. But then when you're playing the game, every time this badminton touch this ball, I am changing the value by 1. So first time you touch, it will become 1. Second time 2, 3, like that, it will increase. So that's how you can give a dynamic value. So this is not a static. It is changing. When your script is running, is changing, right? So that's how you can apply the store. The same way the level also. So for the level, where I program for the level, let me check for the other sprite. Okay, here you go, the level. So when I click on the start, it should set the level to 1. Here 0, but here I am setting to 1. But when score reaches the 100, when this score becomes 100, this level should change to 2. Okay, so that's how I have written the program. So this is how you can use the variables in your programming language. When you are doing the coding in your Scratch, you will use your variables like this. So let's run this program and see how these variables are changing time to time. So if I click start and see every time I touch, see the score is changing to 15 now, right? So every time I touch, it's changing. Now when it reaches 100, see what will happen. Okay. See, when it's become 100, the level has changed to 2. See that? So that's how we program it. Okay. So this is all about variable. For the sample for the list, I will do in another tutorial. So next tutorial, I am going to create another game for you guys. So in our teachers community, like there's a Harvard University having a teachers, educators network. So in that, one of the teacher remind me like about the game we played in 90s, late 90s. It's called Snake Game. So I don't know, maybe most of your kids, your parents might, or your mom or dad might know this. So this idea, I got it from him. And so I'm going to develop that. He also developed one sample. So I'm going to develop it and demonstrate to you in the next tutorial. So that is about a snake. So the snake will have two options. One is there will be some food will come randomly. The snake can eat the fruit. Every time it eats the fruit, it will grow. So it will grow, grow, grow and grow. But if the snake touches the edge of the screen or it touches its own body, it will die. It stopped. The game will be stopped. So that's a simple game. So we can do it with whatever we learned already. It's not very complicated game. So we will develop that game in the next tutorial, which is 13, the tutorial 13. Sorry, tutorial 14. This is the 13th tutorial. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you like it, subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Till I see you in another tutorial. See you. Bye bye.